Hello everyone. So in this session we will discuss about an example for the single precision floating point values, how the numbers are represented and how to interpret the answers. Okay, so this is an example given. So it is a single precision floating point numbers. So if you just see here, totally we will be having some single precision we have 32-bit representation, 23 bits plus 8 bits and then plus 1 bit. So 32-bit format. It is for single precision. 1 bit for the sign and then 8 bits for the 1 bit for the sign and 8 bit for the exponent, and this fraction part is also otherwise called as significant. So the I think you all know the representation. Maybe I will repeat it. So the format actually specifies three fields. Okay, three fields. One is going to be the sign field. Okay, then the next one is the exponent part. Okay, and the third field, it is also going to, it is nothing but the fraction part. So the fraction part is also called as significant, and the other name for this is also referred as mantissa. So all these things refer to one and the same. So the mantissa or the significant or the fraction refers to third field. Okay, now if the example problem, if it is given like this, if the pattern is given like this, how you will get the value, how we are going to interpret the value. Now there is a 1 here. If there is a 1, then the sign is negative, and of course we know that this sign is attached only to the significant. Okay, not to the exponent. This is going to be the sign of the significant or the sign of the fraction part or mantissa. Both, all these three refers to the same field. Okay, then now in the exponent part, if you just observe, there is a binary, 8-bit binary. So you just take this 8-bit binary. If you find the decimal equivalent for this, of course, if you convert this binary number to decimal, you will be getting 124. So the exponent seems to be 124 and E is going to be identified as 124. You cannot take this 124 as such, because in the biasing of the exponent we already discussed, the bias value would have been already added to make the bias a positive number. So already you have added a bias. To get the original value, you have to subtract the bias. If it is an 8-bit exponent, the bias value will be 127. So 124 minus 127, you will be getting minus 3. So the actual exponent which is to be referred for this example is going to be minus 3. So that is given. And then take the significant, and of course the significant, we told it is going to be normalized. If it is normalized, what you should do, you have to have this 1. Okay, that is marked in the red color, 1 point, then only you have to take the remaining significant. So this normalized number 1, which is hidden, which is not represented here, has to be included for the calculation. So when you are taking the significant, you have to write the significant as 1 point, then whatever the number they have given. So if you have written like this, now the significant is going to be 1 point, then what is the number given, the pattern, the same pattern, you copy it here, and this is going to be the original significant, and this is in base 2. So you have to convert this number into appropriate decimal equivalent, which works out to be 1.25. Okay, 1.25. You can do the decimal conversion that we have already discussed in the previous sessions, how to convert the numbers from one system to another system. Okay, now what is the original value? Now how you will calculate the original value? So this is going to be the significant. So I will take it as 1.25 multiplied with, okay, it is a base 2 system, so you'll be having 2 and the exponent is minus 3. So this is going to be the value that is represented by this bit pattern. So in the examination, you might be given a problem like the binary pattern could be given and you might be asked to find the value, or you will be given a value like this and they will ask you to represent this number in 32-bit or single precision floating point number. Similarly, there is one more example here. What is the decimal value they have asked? Okay, so now we have to find the solution for this. So here it is 0, that means the value is positive, and of course for here the value is going to be negative because 1 is there, so the final value will be negative. And here if you have 0, this is positive, and then you take the exponent. Okay, the exponent, you find the binary decimal equivalent of this exponent. Okay, I think here they have identified as 130. 130 is the exponent part. E is equal to 130. So 130 minus 127. 130 minus 127, you will be getting uh, 3. So the exponent is going to be 3, and then you take the significant part. You have to attach 1 point, then you have to attach this portion. Okay, so this is going to be in binary. You have to convert into decimal. If you convert that into decimal, you will get some value. It is going to work out to, so if you convert this, so that original value multiplied with 2 power 3, it will be giving some binary value. That binary value, if you convert, you will be getting 10.375. So this example you can work out and you can practice it. So you may be getting a question like, given the binary pattern, what is going to be the decimal value, or given the decimal value, how it is going to be represented in a double precision format or single precision format. Depending on the format, you have to change the representation. Now we will discuss how these floating point numbers can be added and subtracted. So there are separate algorithms available to implement all these things, like how we have seen algorithms for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division for integer numbers. Now for floating point numbers, before getting into the actual algorithm, we will just see the manual procedure. So actually there are going to be four basic phases for doing this addition and subtraction. So the first step is check for zeros. You are going to check the operand for zeros. If one of the operand is 0, then obviously the result will be the remaining. It is applicable for both addition and subtraction. So the first phase will check for the zeros for the operand. If both operands are 0, the answer is going to be 0. If one of the operand is 0, obviously the leftover operand will be the result. It is applicable for addition and subtraction. Then the second step is we will be just aligning the significant. So the significant has to be properly aligned, only then you will be adding. So what actually we mean by aligning the significant is, when you are writing the numbers, it should be properly written in the appropriate position. So we will just see with an example of how to align the significance. After aligning the significance, that is, you are trying to make the exponents equal, and if the exponents are made equal, then we are going to add or subtract the significance depending on whether it is addition or subtraction. After doing this, the result will be obtained, and we have to ensure that the result is normalized, because initially we assume that the input floating point numbers in the normalized form. So the final output whatever we have got, that also should be normalized. So in general, any floating point operation will follow these four steps: checking for zeros, aligning the significant, adding or subtracting the significant, and normalize the result. Okay, now we will just see how actually it is going to happen. So we are going to refer to two operands, x and y. Okay, so each operand will have three fields. Of course, I have discussed already. So the x will have the significant portion, and then it will be having exponent portion. So the x of e, okay, this is going to be the representation for x, and there will be one sign here, either it could be plus or minus. Similarly, if you take y, it is also having plus or minus. This plus or minus is a sign attached to the significant. Okay, then we have the significant ys, then it is multiplied with the base. Here it is a binary number system, so b will become 2, and there will be an exponent part for y also. So this is what the actual numbers it is going to be represented. Now the first step is you check for zeros. After checking for zeros, we have to align the significant. What we mean by aligning the significant is, we have to make both the exponents equal. Okay, if the exponents are not equal, then we have to make it equal. How it is done? You find the bigger number, subtract the smaller number from it, so that it will be made equal. So now that is the step that is going to be followed here. If we have been asked to add these two numbers x and y, then what we have to do? You have to add the significance. Before adding the significance, you have to ensure that the exponents are same. For that purpose, what we are trying to do, x is okay into this base, and we have the exponent e. Okay, so exponent e, and this should not be used as such. We have to compare with this, and if there is any difference, xe minus ye should be obtained. Okay, and this difference only has to be multiplied with x's. Okay, then after doing this, that is, we are trying to make the both the exponents equal. If the exponents are made equal, then for this x's you can directly add this significant y. Okay, and for this is going to be the new result, and for this new result, what will be the common exponent? We have made it equal. So if the number is smaller, if this first exponent is smaller, then the difference is attached here, and then we are making it equal. So we will take the final exponent as ys exponent, so the b raised power ys. Okay, I think if we are working out with an example, it will be made clear, still more clear. Then we will just do the equation for subtraction. If I want to subtract x minus y, again the same thing, we have to compare the two exponents. If the exponents are not equal, we have to take the smaller exponent and make it equal. So either we can bring the bigger exponent to smaller exponent, or smaller one to bigger, depending on the availability. Here what they are claiming, the condition is xc. If xc is less than or equal to ye, that is, the smaller exponent is lesser than ye, in that case what we are trying to do, we are just patching up, and we are making this exponent equal to ye. For that, whatever is the difference, that we are adjusting in the significant of s. Once you add the significant of s accordingly, then you can refer to the second component exponent as such. So for finding x minus y, what we are again trying to do, x is the significant, it is going to be multiplied with b, and again we are just trying to subtract ye from xe, because already we know xe is less than or equal to ye. If this x exponent is lesser, we have to make it equal to the bigger one, so we are trying to do like this. And then instead of plus, it is subtraction, so we have to subtract the significant, so ys is subtracted, and then of course the final result, it will be following the exponent of ys ye. So here it is going to follow the exponent of ye. We have of course made equal, so this is going to be the addition, for addition and subtraction. Then coming to multiplication, what is multiplication? Of course it is x into y. We have to multiply x and y. For this case, there is no need to adjust the exponent. Whatever is the exponent, that we can proceed simply as such. So simply find the product of the significant x's and y's, that will be multiplied. The significant of both the numbers will be multiplied. And coming to the exponent part, we will be adding the exponent, that's all. So xe plus ye, we will be adding the exponent as such. So this is going to be the example expression for multiplication. Coming to division, if I want to divide x by y, then you just divide both the significance, and then according to the bias, you have to find the difference of the bias, xe minus ye. So this is going to be the basic equation to be followed for finding the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of the exponents. Okay, I think this we can work out with an example here. So they have taken an example, x is equal to 0.3 into 10 power 2. Okay, so I think we all know the value, equivalent value, it is nothing but 3. Then we have 10 power 2 is 0 0. Then there should be one point after this first digit, so you'll put a point here. So the equivalent value is 30. Now you take the next value, y is equal to 0.2 into 10 power 3. So its equivalent value is going to be 2 followed by 3 zeros and then 1 point, so you'll be having 200. So the numbers x is represented as 30 and the y is represented as 20. Now we will just see how to do this addition x plus y with respect to these two numbers. Okay, as per the equation given here, we have to compare the two exponents. It is 10 power 2, it is 10 power 3. The first step is check for zeros, it is not 0. Okay, the second step is align the significant. Why we are aligning the significant? We have to make the exponent equal. So 3 to, either you can make 2 to 3 or you can make 3 to 2. So you are comparing the two exponents. Okay, as per the equation given here, xe is less than or equal to ye. So this exponent is less than this. So whatever is the difference, that has to be adjusted for the first operand, and you are trying to make this equal to the big next operand. So for that purpose, what is the equation here? You have to take x's as such. So the significant 0.3 you will be taking as such, then into the difference is adjusted. Now for easy calculation, we are dealing with the decimal value, so it is going to be 10 power 2. Okay, and the another exponent is 10 power 3, so you are just taking the difference between these two exponents, and that is adjusted with the first operand, and then plus the second operand y is going to be 0.2, so you are taking 0.2 as such into, now the result exponent is going to be here we have made both exponents as 10 power 3 10 power 3, so the final result will be into 10 power 3. Okay, now if you just work it out, this is zero point 0.3 into 10 power 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is nothing but minus 1. So 0.3 into 10 power 0.3 into 10 power minus 1. So it is nothing but 0.3 by 10. Okay, so you will be having one more point here. So this is going to be 0.03. So this is going to work out as 0.03, and that should be added with 0.2. So 0.2 will be added. So you'll be getting 0.23. So the final answer is going to be 0.23 into 10 power 3. So what is 0.23 into 10 power 3? So you'll be getting 2, 3, then followed with 3 zeros. Okay, and then you have to fix the point after 2 digits. So this is 230. So you'll be getting the answer is 230. So in the same way, you will be implementing x minus y, x star y, and x by y as per the equation given here. So you just, I leave it as an exercise for you. You please work out x minus y, x star y, x dash y, x by y as per the format given here. This completes the discussion of the floating point representation. In the next session, we will just see the algorithms for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Thank you.